Welcome everybody to another FiatLeak live stream. It is December 26th, 2023. I am your host, Danny DeBrito, and I am here with Price Givens, Dr. Erickson Montero, and Octo. Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
How are we all doing post Christmas festivities? You guys recovering?
Yes,
Yeah.
somehow.
Well,
A little slower, but
I wanted to give you guys a late Christmas present, and my Christmas present to you guys is none other than special guest, which I have to set up on the stream still because it's not set up properly. Give me 1 second here.
You got us a gift, Danny?
Got you guys a
Yeah.
gift.
Cool.
It's an import. An import.
it's an import.
By the way of, you will see. Wow, Streamlabs is extra special today, guys. I'll tell you. And at the big reveal, I'll give you a guess. It's Steven Spielberg,
Oh.
Bill Gates, or the one and only Dabs, giant on the screen, right there. How you doing,
my
Dabs?
Hello,
God. You got
Dabs.
us we got apps for Christmas?
You got
Yeah,
Dabs for Christmas,
that's really
baby.
cool.
Do we get one each?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
One
it says
Dabs.
Dabs. There's a plural. There's an S in the
Multiple.
end.
Yeah.
We have Dabs.
Welcome, Dabs.
Alrighty. Once again,
Check
welcome
his,
everyone.
Check his audio.
Yeah, Dabs, go ahead and give us a hello. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from Dabs.
No audio.
I can
There
hear
we
you
go.
now.
It's Dabs.
All right, now just since we're off to a smooth, chill start, I'm going to add some filters. Audio filters. This is my audio engineer side coming in on Dabs. We'll impression, noise gate. Live, baby. This is how it works when you go live.
Yeah.
Go with the flow, you know? Your true colors. All right, so to kick things off today, being that it's Tuesday, price. Portfolios are locked for the FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader. Am I right or am I right?
You are right, Danny. The portfolios are locked. The prices are locked. We are all set. And Octo was observing just a few minutes ago that Rat Millix and Millix are the two dominant picks this week in the fantasy day trader.
Interesting data point.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time that Millix has really showed up. It's all been about Rat Millix until now. But maybe people are starting to choose Millix because the trade button is live on Tangled, and that's all Millix.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's
Yeah.
really big for accessibility, especially for anyone that uses Tangled. I haven't tried it myself yet, but from what I recall is it uses the Polygon network for deposits and withdrawals, or no?
Yes. Deposits and withdrawals.
And the
USDC
trading pairs
or
that you guys
USDT?
offer is USDT and USDC.
You can deposit USDT and USDC, but the withdrawals are USDC. So you will get USDC when you try to withdraw. Sell Milix for USDC.
Got it. So you can
And
deposit
all of it without
USDT, but you
the
can't
ERC20.
withdraw the USDT.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that, Octo?
So all of it, withdraw and deposits, are all happening, unlike on Rapnilix, without the use of ERC20, Ethereum high fee protocol that not many people like.
Yeah.
So it's a very big news, I think, for me and a lot of people who would like to trade Milix.
Yeah. You usually to send a transaction on Polygon, you pay 1 cent or less than 1 cent. So that's really good.
And then Price, tell me, these trades that happen on Tangle, do they appear on FiatLeak?
They will. They're going to appear on FiatLeak, and they're also going to appear on the stat page, the Tangled stat page. I think that's going to happen later this week. It's a rough week for us to get development done because of the holidays, but I think we'll probably get that in this week.
Yeah, a lot going on. And yeah, at the end of the year, you know, it always tends to be like this like, not to depict it as like, it's like the sludge at the end of a tsunami of a year. Like, we're just like everything crammed that was accumulated from the year
Sludge.
hitting the, you know, you see all types of items and things, you know, and you have personal life, you have your family life, you have the holidays, you have your professional life,
Yeah.
all just trying to
A
make it
lot.
through the finish line of 2023 into 2024, you know?
A lot.
You're overeating, you're over drinking. That usually happens around this time of year.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard work to get through the end.
Yeah, that's true. It's
For
hard.
sure. A little fun fact before we get into the crypto. I was blessed this Christmas to have a very special guest at my house, and by the name of Price Givens and his beautiful wife.
That's a very special guest.
Very special guest indeed. My dog loves Price. That's not what makes him special. Sandra, his beautiful wife, is very healthy. She's very knowledgeable about like everything that comes, you know, with the with health, from supplements to diets to, you know, everything. And Price learns off of her. She's also the best at bringing the sweetest, highest sugary, most decadent, like over the top desserts in the world. And she brought
So
very
you got
tempting.
an overdose. You got an overdose of sugar.
Yeah, well, I try not to. I really try not to, but it's like it's just staring at me, and it's just like, you know, I find it really rich, lack of better words. But that was very special. It was a Christmas miracle to see Price at my house
Yeah.
for like the fourth or
Did
fifth
we
time.
post any Christmas photos from your house on Tangled? I've got some.
You got some. We
I
should
do.
admit them. No, I'm just
We,
kidding.
we want to see those
Yeah.
pictures.
Well, we need a little bit
Yeah,
of a
we'll start posting
redemption
those.
of a Christmas photo, because last year's Christmas photo didn't look too great.
It's the last two Christmas photos, Dan. Let's be honest.
Yeah, or we could say 3, unless that was Thanksgiving. I don't know.
You know, you and I are hugging and kissing on camera. We're all oiled up.
God.
We're wearing bow
It
ties.
just doesn't look.
It's
just doesn't look right. People will assume other things, and that's not what we're trying to portray. We're trying to look tough. We end up looking like, you know,
Doesn't sound quite right.
something
Yeah.
on the other spectrum.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But let's talk about crypto. How about that? Okay, so the portfolios are locked. I see here on the market summary that Rat Millix and Millix are taking the 1 and 2 spot. I'm really impressed by the percentages here. 68% for Rat Millix, 26% for Millix. Hake just below at 21%, which we all know is this decentralized exchange under the Binance Smart chain. Yeah, so Friday we can expect the winners for the final week of this season for the FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader. That is week 6. Is that correct, Price?
That is correct. And I don't mean to take over the host responsibilities, but you and I, Danny, right after this stream, we're going to do an open invitation live stream, the first one we've ever done, where anyone can join us on camera and mic. And maybe Dr. Erickson will be one of the first to join us, and he can show us how to burn some Millix, because we have to do that, right? We've got to burn 100 or 200 million from the last bet.
From last
You
week's
have
bet.
to.
I don't even know how. You got to join the next live stream and walk me through it.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
you're going
see
to have
if
to
you
walk
can do
me
it.
through it too, because this is the thing. If we're going to burn this, and it's going to be kind of like a how-to burn, I'm sure everybody wants to burn their Millix, but it's going to be so you're going to have to tell me, Erickson, how to display this on the Explorer so people can see the burn happening in real time. That's even possible.
Yeah. Well, I don't think if we really can burn right now because the protocol is will prevent us to burn because the burn address is an invalid address. So
You
Right.
see,
that
Danny?
transaction will not validate in the network.
You see?
Well,
So
that in itself, the
we-
error that we're going to intentionally produce is
it,
the burn.
it's not an error because it will not even pass. The protocol will not allow it to happen. So price we have to postpone this burn to the next version.
Wait,
You
wait, wait,
guys
wait,
think
wait.
that Danny's job is easy? This is what he has to deal with constantly.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
you can what you can do. I can give you an idea. Is that price you can lock those 200 million relics in an NFT to be burned in the future.
And send
do
it to
that.
hell. Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
do that.
I'm an artist here, so I look at things in a creative level, not intentionally sometimes very inappropriately, and I have to bite my tongue, especially in public situations. This might be one of them. I don't know. We can coin something new for this process. Maybe this is something that is not a band-aid, but it's almost kind of a cool feature for relics. So like witches, you put them on a stake before you burn them.
Yeah.
We need, or we put the Milix on a grill. Like, what is this? What is he doing? Is he seasoning, marinating the Milix right now? Is he putting it in a bowl of sauce, of barbecue before we go and burn it? Like, we got to think about what this process is called. It's the minting of an NFT to burn.
Yeah, not yet. Like you said, put it on hold. So when the burn feature is available, we burn it.
Okay. I think we should call it whatever Joe Pesci's character was in Goodfellas, where he's getting made and he feels so happy, and then they just put a bullet through his head. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
So at the end of the stream today, we're going to spin the wheel, as we always spin the wheel. However, just like the previous episode, we're only going to do the roll call for names at a given specific moment on this stream. And only in that moment can your name be eligible to be entered into the wheel. But your name must be your tangle.com username. If you didn't know already. So just be aware for that. And looks like SJHW just joined the stream. Good morning, SJHW. For those of you that know, he almost always collects the names for us, and very grateful for him. So, guys, should we go ahead and jump into the news? Let's do that. The first thing I have here on top of the list is that the Bitcoin hash rate hits new high with 544 EHSs. What is that? EH/S.
Exahash per second.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Bitcoin
big
network
number.
hash rate reached a record high of 544 exahashes per second. According to blockchain.com, the hash rate reached a record high on December 25th. The network's hash rate has doubled this year, rising 130% since January. Quite a lot.
That's cool.
Notably, during the same period that BTC's hash rate increased, the asset's price almost followed suit, rising more than 150% since January 1st, 2023. Wow, what was the price at for 2023? Clearly, that's giving you the percent, so that's quite a lot.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see these numbers because we can extrapolate that it can be due to improvements in hardware or due to adoption, more miners. So we have to. I think we always see some improvements in the hardware side as they develop faster and faster hardware every day. But also it may be due to more companies getting into mining. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of news, FOMO news, or kind of anti mining news past couple of years where people say mining is not profitable. But
Yeah.
maybe that's intentional news being published by people who do mine, kind of wanting people to stray away from that industry.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Maybe.
it is profitable if you're a company and you have a lot of
It's
mining
also
rigs.
because of the price was like less than a third of what it is now, for example, the beginning of
True.
the
Mhm.
Therefore, your profits, if they have to be turned into any kind of fiat for paying for your electricity, for example, which also tripled this year, it creates this big imbalance between how much you're making and how much it's costing you to mine Bitcoin.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
the news, was centered mainly on the fact that price being low, profits were much lower.
That's true. But
And,
in nature, in mining, I mean, after every halving, there's just going to be less Bitcoin to mine. So in the same token, I guess it could still be profitable if the rate of value of Bitcoin compensates for the scarcity for the miners.
it goes up, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's going to take longer and longer to mine block, and the blocks are getting bigger. That's why you're going to need a lot more hash power to be able to get to
Right.
one.
Who here
Take it twice
has
the time.
mined before? Have price
Sorry?
givens? Have you ever mined Bitcoin, Octo?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. In fact, I built the computer that I'm using right now, 2012 specifically, just to do that.
Oh, that's cool. And how was it
And
like then, as far as the GPUs? Was it always GPUs that were used for mining Bitcoin, or
No, that was the very interesting thing, is that you could it was still done by CPU, okay, but there was this fairly new thing at the time that you could trick the computer into using the GPU. And the GPUs, even back then, if you had a nice fat one, the ones I had, they had over 1,000 cores each, when at the time, even having a 4-core CPU, something already quite big, but you could already get nice accelerated GPUs with loads of cores, and giving you fairly decent speed.
Rob Many is in the chat. He said that he started with an S5, an ASICs miner.
Right.
Nice. You know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about these, just the use of GPUs, and I would assume that a lot of high-end video game systems, like let's say the latest Xboxes and whatnot, they have GPU, right? Is there
That's the main
any
thing.
hot wiring of old platforms, like from different models of Xboxes
No.
and PlayStations? And
No.
why not? Like,
because, well, Emmanuel and I, we were going to do that. So in 2013, we were going to go down to GameStop and buy dozens and dozens of PlayStation 3s for the GPUs, and but it wasn't going to. It didn't pencil. It wasn't going to work out.
It wouldn't
and
run
what
the
was the
code.
snag?
Yeah.
The GPU
Encryption?
wasn't powerful enough compared to the rest of the mining market, and this was for altcoins, right? So we wouldn't have been able to produce as much coin as we had to spend for the electricity and the hardware.
I
see.
think that the big thing back then was to be able to interlock various CPUs, multiple GPUs, sorry, on the on a computer or miner kind of machine you were building. Back then, the NVIDIA had their own way of joining multiple GPUs GPU card on your computer, and ATI had it as well. And it was a physical cable that you would use to lock them together and make them act like one whole bigger.
It's an SLI.
That's right. It was SLI and was it Crossfire for the ATI? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when did you stop mining? Price? When it stopped becoming profitable, or when you lost interest? What was the reasoning?
It stopped being. So I was running. I had 5 Butterfly Labs ASIC units. I was running them in the garage. It's basically heating my garage, and I think that they were probably producing 1.5 Bitcoin a month, which was probably worth $150, $200, and the electricity was right about that. The thing that got me to stop mining, and I lost a huge amount on mining because mining, in my opinion, was less about the technical aspect of solving the problem and more about the logistics of a supply chain. You've got to order the newest gear, pre-order it. You have to have pre-orders stacked up to be able to compete, and you've got to offload your existing hardware as soon as it hits the twilight. And there was a company called TeraHash that had a big breakthrough in hash rate. And so I pre-ordered one. I think it was 30 Bitcoin that I pre-ordered, and they never delivered. So I got into a class action lawsuit with Eric Voorhees and other just super high profile names in the Bitcoin community going after this TeraHash company. And that was the last of it for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh,
You went
that's
out with a
right.
bang.
Yeah.
For me, it was didn't go into any class action with anybody, but the amount of the calculation I did right before building, I was running some tests to see what kind of flash power I could get out of my machine, and made some calculation about how much it would cost to have this machine running 24/7 at 100% of their capability. And being in England, the electricity was expensive even back then, and with the price of Bitcoin at the time, around $100 each, it was working out at around less than a couple of $1,000 a year, and that is if the price didn't change of electricity or Bitcoin. So I ran it for a few months, and then I just started using other stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Now, around that time, that Octo and I sounds like we were around the same time. You start seeing, you're running a couple units in a garage, and I'm paying California electricity rates. He's paying London electricity rates. Then you start to see short videos online of guys in China who are announcing that they just bought their own hydroelectric dam. And then you've got guys, guys with mineral liquid cooled mining, and it's just like, okay, I'm not a part of this.
I better pack it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to leave.
That's not me.
And then soon after, there was already the new fashion of getting online miners. Yeah, so you could literally rent a server, a much more powerful server that you could just build at home, and the cost was cheaper in every way. The maintenance cost of that, so it was giving you a better profit. And ideally, I thought, I might look into that. It's simpler, a bit cooler for the house, and more profitable. Yeah.
I was going to ask, do mining pools still exist? Is that still a thing for Bitcoin?
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you mine on the CPU?
No. Phantom.
I know that Octo is not mining but earning millions on CPU.
On the nodes.
Who, Octo?
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 nodes plus, well, 4, because I had 4 computers on and they all have the Tangle browser. So I'm getting out of, small energy consumption nodes, okay, which I have tried different in the past. The Milix node, I think it's great. What you get out of it, yeah, get around about a million something Milix per day per node, just by leaving your browser open. Which in my case is, my browsers have been open for years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
never stopping, with loads of tabs in it, and so it's literally paying for my electricity. The amount of CPU the process is taking, it's almost nothing. The amount of bandwidth as well, it's very low. So it's one of the best nodes I've ever came across. And I've
Wow.
run the Theta node, I've run various other nodes that normally what they do, at least they really pain your CPU to 100%, or they have a constant few megabit per second of bandwidth usage. You can run the Milix node without even really feeling it,
Yeah.
even on some very old or small machine, not powerful at all.
Hey Dabs, maybe you can join us on the Tangle Talk right after this stream. I want to talk to you about including cloud mining in the Tangle browser or as an app on Tangled. Maybe you can join us for that. That'd be a good topic.
Yeah, we definitely need people with insights on that have experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Maybe we could set up a mining operation in Guadalajara.
Oh, he's not there.
Well, if the cartel's the guy reading the electricity meter, that might be a benefit.
No relation,
Do you-
but Dr. Emmanuel Braden will be headed to Mexico in about 10 days from now.
Hey, Danny, SJHW says he cannot hear Dabs on the stream.
Oh,
We hear him here.
It's playing for me, but here.
Maybe just try and refresh the page. It
Yeah,
does
yeah.
that sometimes at the end of the countdown. It is definitely on.
I'm gonna try Google.
Price.
All right.
Are you going to
That
join
should be fixed.
Emmanuel in his trip to Mexico?
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I had some potential meetings for Emmanuel for Mexico. Breaking news here. We're going to meet with UNAM or UNAM. It's like the main university in Mexico. However, the important people that we were to meet with, they're not back until January 15th, which Emmanuel will not be there. But we have a few contacts and leads in Mexico right now in which we are having really good conversations, but we're ready to finalize a lot of this stuff and basically introduce Mexico to Milix and Milix to Mexico. Have a lot of
Hey,
really
Danny,
cool
can
projects.
you check Dab's signal on? Rob Many says he can't hear Dabs either.
Yeah, but go ahead and talk now, Dabs, and let's see if they
Hello,
hear him.
mic check. Can you hear me?
All right, let's see what they say. There's about a 10-second delay.
Hmm.
You guys hear Dabs now. Go ahead, Dabs. Say something again.
Is that better now? Mic check. Mic check.
I mean, it should absolutely work at this. What happened was you weren't being redirected to the output. So
Now
all right.
they're saying it's perfect.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Well, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. It's still in the topic of Bitcoin, but in this time, instead of hash rate, we're talking about U.S. government. So the SEC sets final deadline for spot Bitcoin ETFs for changes. The SEC has set a strict December 29 deadline for spot Bitcoin ETF submissions, highlighting regulatory commitments. The initial wave of potential adoption for the spot Bitcoin ETF is expected in early February 2024. The urgency of the deadline reflects a shift within the SEC's historically cautious approach to cryptocurrency merchandise. Good news. It seems like they're kind of expediting this to get things rolling. Does this sound like good news to you guys, or do you think they just want to rush it and burn it?
I don't know.
I think they set a date for making a decision, and I think some of the companies that have pushed for the applications, they probably want an answer as soon as possible as well.
Yeah.
All they did was, they set a deadline for putting in your application, maybe to create a little bit of extra buzz. But a lot of the interested parties already have put in all their applications already.
They need to make a deadline on approvals. What they need to do.
Yeah,
It's the approvals that they're waiting for. Yeah, the applications have been put in by most of the big players that want it in.
Well, it's expected early February, so if that's a statement from the SEC, then we have an approximate, and that's very soon. That could be as soon as a month and a week.
Yeah, they're getting pressure from somebody.
When does Gary leave office? When the presidency's over?
Oh, I don't know.
Good question.
January 6, 2025 would be when they switch presidents if Biden doesn't win. So we still have.
Yeah, he's got to lose. I support Trump, and I got deported under Trump. That should tell you a lot.
So was Gensler a Biden appointee or a Trump appointee?
Let's find out.
This news to me sounds like now there's some words in this that make it sound unusual, but it seems to me that December 29th would be an internal deadline for the SEC that they hold themselves to, so that they can't, beyond that, they can't go back and ask for more information to just prolong this for the funds. I don't think that it would be a deadline that prevents any additional fund from requesting to file for an ETF ever. That would be weird.
You're right.
Right.
Some of the current ones. But he was appointed by Joe Biden.
Okay.
Probably.
Now you guys got to remember, for better for worse, Gary Gensler, being put in the position that he's in at the SEC is not going to make him friends with a lot of people, because he's between a rock and a hard place with crypto and then legacy securities and all that.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, and his job, the job of a regulator, is to enforce the existing law. And in last week, it was mentioned that he had been accused of being a hypocrite. And if a regulator is accused of being a hypocrite, it's because they're introducing their own perspective or bias into the interpretation or selective enforcement of the law. There shouldn't be any controversy to a regulator's doing their job. So he might want a little more spotlight than he want to make a name for himself more than a normal regulator would.
A regulator is like a judge then in many ways. You might have your own personal beliefs or convictions, but you have to rule based on the law. that's
Yeah,
that has already been
it's not like a
defined.
judge. It's like law enforcement. They're handed a catalog of laws, and they have to go out and find violations of the law and enforce the law,
Yeah.
And protect the
and then
consumer.
submit that to a judge.
Yes. Right. In that regard, yes, of course. Because people, always call back to the time when he was a professor and he sounded very bullish on cryptocurrencies, and then they call him a hypocrite as well because of that. But yeah, he's given the task to enforce existing law. So yeah, it sucks for anyone that's gonna be in that position. And we shouldn't expect too much from him either way. Don't put a lot of stock into him, but in the end of the day, the more that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum becomes institutionalized, let's say, the more undeniable it is, and they're just going to have to participate. Because
I think we've crossed that bridge.
Yeah.
If you want to have a duel or a showdown between Gary Gensler and BlackRock, there's no contest.
Yeah.
Larry's gonna win.
Yeah. This world is
Larry Fink,
not
Mr.
run
Fink
Gary.
is gonna win that one. He could fund his legal war chest with the entire SEC annual budget just for that one case.
Oh yeah.
And good luck.
And drag it for as long as he wants.
Yeah.
That's how the SEC wins litigation. They run out of money to keep the case going.
Yeah, but Larry Fink's got Gary Gensler on speed dial, and Gary picks up that phone call every time.
The answer is, "Hey, Daddy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, master.
Not that there's a direct correlation, but if XRP, based on their performance with the with the SEC, you can only imagine how they would go toe to toe, the SEC with BlackRock. I think it's a non-starter. Yeah, very very interesting. This article here. I think in the end of the day, it's going to get approved. We're going to see a lot of movement. Of course, we can all be wrong here, but going to be. I think 2024 is going to be a great year for Bitcoin. In the long term, short term, it looks like most recently 170 million of Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum liquidated amid a crypto flash crash. And if you look at the current map on FiatLeak here, everything kind of mimics Bitcoin's performance. Seems to be a cliff right here that happened about some hours ago, and
it's nothing.
It's nothing. Well, we've been through worse. We know that. So almost $200 million worth of orders liquidated from market as numerous cryptocurrencies show weakness ahead of New Year. In a sudden market shakeup, over 170 million worth of Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum were liquidated as depicted by the latest crypto liquidation data. Wow, I just got a huge boom as soon as I finished that sentence, as you guys see there on the map. This flash crash event has rattled the cryptosphere, occurring just a week before the new year, a time when such volatility is not typically unexpected. That's very true, and I believe Dabs brought that up a couple of episodes back, and how it's very common at the end of the year for us to see this kind of volatility, and sometimes even more so post the new year, and then followed by a bounce back. Octo, what's your take on this? I believe you submitted this one to us.
I believe it's nothing. I mean, the couple of hundred millions between all this cryptocurrency that you named, it's a normal day trading, and I'm keeping an eye on the total volumes of trades between the 24th and today. In the last 3 days, technically, when historically they are normally days where nobody trades. Trades are very low in volumes. We had an increase of almost 20% between the 24th and the 25th, and 30% today. I mean, the day after Christmas, the market is normally dead, and we are close to 100 billion just for today. The couple of hundred millions that gets lost every time there's a little bit of a correction or a little bit of a pump in liquidations. That's
And that's
That's really
futures.
nothing. It's nothing, and it's expected, and that's just exchanges making a bit of money from leverage traders.
And it's closing the gap, the fair value gap as well.
Yeah, I think that holidays, if you've got if you have a thin order book, either on the ask side or the bid side, the probability of liquidations goes up. And it's not because of any external news event or external forces. It's just a thin book. If you bought calls and puts a week ago and they're just sitting there, then over Christmas break you get a thin order book, you're gonna get there's gonna be liquidations easier than a normal day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's up
that's
and
it.
down to wipe both ends of the book. You can see by looking across various exchanges where the liquidity is, so where people actually came in, and considering that mostly it's during the holiday time. It's not institutional trading. It's mainly what you call it, regular people trading.
Retail and bots.
Retail, yeah, it's mainly
retail and bots,
Yeah.
which are the
Regen.
complete opposite of each other, but that's who it is.
I don't think there is holidays for bots. So.
No.
Oh, no.
holiday bots. Yeah.
That's
So yeah, they cleaned out a little bit of retail traders, hoping for a quick buck on the leveraged market. It's always a big gamble.
There is one holiday for bots. You guys are so it's called a bot mitzvah. Okay, it's when the
Bot
bot
mitzvah.
has 16 transactions.
This one, I think it can't get any worse.
Yeah. I think Danny is preparing to learn more debt jokes. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been training my whole life. I have a really random and controversial question, and let's see who wants to answer this one first. Being that we're live, this will be on the record. So Price, I'm just kidding. Whoever wants to answer first. Is war good for cryptocurrency?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
War didn't do anything to the market, in my opinion. And for history shows, the rich get richer during war.
And are the rich
Yeah,
turning on
War is
crypto?
usually good for the economy, and crypto is part of it. And I think this crypto brought more news. Sorry, this crypto, even the last war that happened, and like all of them, they
Our
bring more
pandemic's
news
good.
about crypto. There was so much funds being collected in various cryptocurrencies to be sent to whether it was Ukraine or Palestinian war as well. It's had a lot of crypto talk around it.
Yeah. So if you just look at the Ukrainian
Enemy.
war, you've got there's three real easy triggers to make the crypto market stronger from that war. One is the U.S. government weaponized the dollar and threatened to weaponize T-bills. That right? You're going to move out. You're going to move out of those two assets for that reason. Two, you've got capital flight from people who want to get out of the way of the war. And three, the wars cause deficit spending by the governments to build all the guns and ammo, and deficit spending is inflation. So it's printing more money.
War is
No
industry.
controversy at all.
War is industry for sure. And
if you believe in the Bible, you don't want peace. That's when the shit hits the fan.
Oh my God, that's
So-
a hot take.
so then
Well,
you're
If
saying
you
Yeah.
listen to the Bible, peace is when the shit hits the fan. You want war.
so when
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not.
Rapture-
It's not. It's not when they.
Rapture and the second
not when the
coming will be good
respace-
for crypto.
It's when
I'm gonna-
peace is announced.
I think
Yeah,
Dabs is only talking about the Old Testament.
That's the best
Yeah.
one. When to scare people.
Yeah, the great
Right.
flood.
No, it's true.
You
It's
said-
all about the talk. It's when the world will say, "Okay, now we are at peace. There's wars anywhere." It's when it's announced, whether it's true or not. That's a completely different thing. But if it's announced, that would be
Yep.
scary. It's like
Yep.
saying, There's
Right,
no
price.
unemployment anymore, or the economy it's picking up.
Bryce, you said something that I think most of us take it for granted, is that Bitcoin could be used as a hedge for inflation, and it was not true this year. I think it was not true because we saw inflation peaking, but Bitcoin didn't move up. And only now that the inflation is going down, we see Bitcoin going up. So what do you think about this?
I don't know about the timing, but if inflation starts to come down, it's first of all, I think there's a big disconnect between the official inflation numbers and what people on the streets are feeling. Right? There's a lag and there's a disconnect, and I think that if the official inflation numbers go down, then the investment class thinks, okay, well then as a result of that, the Fed is going to loosen policy. They're going to lower rates, and lowering rates is an inflation driver. So so if a low inflation number causes Bitcoin to go up, it's looking forward 6 months.
But the Fed is going to lower rates because inflation is somehow under control, and the risk of a recession is high now. So they need to lower the rates. So that,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
but they're lowering the rates have been artificially low for more than 10 years. Like a historically normal interest rate is 5% or 6% even. And so if at any point that the Fed wants to force the interest rate below that, it's not natural, and they're trying to manipulate the economy, and it causes inflation. Even if they say there is no inflation, their actions to fight a recession or to prevent a recession is inflationary.
right. But I think the fact that the interest rate was high, it was the reason why Bitcoin didn't peak when the inflation was also high,
It could
because
be.
the investors were preferring to invest in interest rate or in those
A
more
little bit.
secure.
Yeah. So yeah, it becomes a little bit more attractive to buy yield, but I mean, Bitcoin outperformed inflation
Right.
by 20x this
A lot.
year, right? Uh, when is Peter Schiff going to be able to say the same thing about gold? And gold hasn't kept up with inflation for 20 years.
Yeah.
Would someone like him say what
But,
was 20 years when compared to the history of gold, or?
No, it's just that gold has not. If it depends on what inflation number you use, but if inflation went up, I mean, it could have gone up 50% in 10 years, right? Compounded, and gold hasn't. And that's gold's job, is to hedge inflation.
Right. It's proposed job. So
Does it have another job? I mean, if you want to assign the market cap of gold to its industrial value or its jewel value, it's a totally different number.
I was going to say covering the all the cathedrals around Europe.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big part of the market cap.
You're right. The roof. Well, very interesting talk so far, guys, and we have some other topics, that touches on a lot of fraud, hacking, and big scams going on. But I decided let's go ahead and move on. More interesting topics that we care about, because that stuff will always happen. So there are
Especially with AI.
yeah, it's only going to get worse. So let's just talk about the currencies itself. So what's funny here, the only two articles that I have on the queue here for Ripple and XRP have to do with dumps. Let me go to the first one here. It says Ripple could dump over 96 million liquid XRP before 20 2023 ends. So it's like, 5 days. As 2023 draws to a close, Ripple could sell over 96 million XRP coins currently being held in its main wallet address. A prominent crypto payment company, Ripple, has been spending a huge chunk of the tokens unlocked from escrow, and this unlock happened about a month ago. Ripple escrow system, for context, the Ripple escrow system, established in December 2017, was programmed to release 1 billion XRP monthly. So 96 million XRP dumped before 2023, 62 cents. I guess that would put a dent on the market price.
It's a $55 million.
It's just a little over 50 mil. And
yeah, go ahead.
That's like, I don't know, 1/20th of just today's trading volume.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really.
Yeah, so
if you're gonna do
buy it up.
if you're gonna do a dump
so that's a 5%
towards the end
right?
of the year, you want to do the dump on January 1st, not December 31st.
Yeah. Otherwise, you will pay tax, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. But then add this caveat here. XRP price eyes 12.6 million dump amid Mt. Gox drama. As 20 million XRP tokens valued at 12.6 million are transferred to major exchange, mysterious senders' activities coincides with Mt. Gox compensation use. So on top of the unlocked 96 million XRP, add another 20 million. So we're talking 116 million Millix that could be sold off within 5 days. So then we're going to go from a 5% drop to maybe a 6%, something like that, if my math is correct. It's really, this is, I guess it chalks down to clickbait, is it not?
Well, of course it is. Any news headline that has the word "could" is absolute clickbait. Elon Musk could announce technological immortality before the year end. 100% accurate headline.
Bryce, onthenode.com wants to have a conversation with you. There might be a job opportunity. Maybe you could write some really catchy articles.
Yeah, I might be interested.
This could get very interesting. Wow.
I could.
This could be very cool.
But the news, it's something that, like a lot of the news that we had on the list today, they're just there because, there has to be somebody talking about crypto on the news.
Yeah.
Just to keep the buzz going.
But this
XRP one, I mean, with a 34 billion market cap at the moment and $1 billion in trading volume in a holiday day like today, 50 million really is, like you said, 5-6% of that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was 100.
Another day in crypto.
Dollars.
Danny, can I give you a hot take?
You want a hot take? You want to give a hot take?
I can give you a hot take. I can give you a hot take that sets up the next article.
You could give me a hot take.
I could. I will.
And you will.
I have. Here's my hot take. I have a man crush on Raoul Pal.
Ooh.
All right. And that silence was deafening. Okay.
Yeah. Who's that?
You're crickets.
Well, he's good. And a fun fact, and this isn't a fun fact. Is this gonna bite me in the ass? I had an uncle. He wasn't blood related, but family friend, had 2 daughters. Great guy. Looks just like Raoul Paul. Left the family because he's gay. And every time I see that guy, I'm like,
you mean just like Raoul Pal?
He looks just like Raoul Pal.
Oh.
Yeah. So your man crush, who looks like my now gay uncle, not blood related, but I'm just saying, cool guy, great guy. He actually, this guy who's very important in my timeline because he helped me build my first computer. He owned a computer shop in Miami, and he knew how much I liked computers. So, and I was like given this like piece of shit compact that was from the 80s. It was like a black and orange screen. He fixed it for me by like replacing like the like a transistor tube or whatever it was, like those little thingies. And then, you know, I couldn't do anything on it. So then he just gave me all the parts to build a computer, and I built a computer. Later on, he ended up working for a hosting company in the 90s. And I was probably like 11 or 12. I was already like building websites, very primitive. But he was doing something illegal where he was, all these people who were new to websites were calling the hosting company to, well, how do I get my website now? It's like, well, we're just a hosting company, but if you need a web designer, contact my nephew. So I got a bunch of clients that way, and that was like my first
Nice.
entrepreneur, you know, real entrepreneurial like kind of venture. Thanks, Price, for telling us about your man crush, because you just totally unfurled all these old memories. So
Back
go
to
on.
flashback.
Yeah, flashback. All right. So Price basically teed up for the next topic here. Let's see where we're at. Going to be the next one. Here we go. Market or macro guru Raoul Pal predicts Ethereum will massively outperform Bitcoin. Says Ethereum's big surprise is coming. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal believes that Ethereum is poised to outperform Bitcoin over the coming weeks and months as investors move their capital within the crypto markets to generate more gains. Pal tells the 21,300 subscribers of his YouTube channel that Ethereum will massively outperform Bitcoin, just like how lower-rated junk bonds tend to surpass the higher-rated treasuries when investors rotate their capital. I mean, is he just basically talking about performance?
Outperform in what sense? In the number of
Just growth?
market cap, in the number of transactions, the number of
I
holders?
imagine he's talking about gains.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just gains. Like from reading that last part with the lower rated junk bonds. This again, sorry guys, more clickbait. It's Ethereum always performs a little better than Bitcoin on the bull
It's first
runs.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, alts, and then low market cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just need to pull up a Bitcoin Ethereum chart and look it over the last few years, and you can see the trend where it's going. The same way that the Bitcoin dominance is going down.
Yeah.
The only one fact that kind of supports this news, well, not supports, but it goes along the same lines, is that just lately, Ethereum holders, so the amount of wallets holding Ethereum has surpassed Bitcoin.
Oh wow.
And I
Yeah.
think that was this week.
I saw
for the
that
first time
too.
ever. But
My first reaction to seeing that was, you know, I asked myself, should I care or not? And I have a couple addresses with Ethereum, not because I want to hold Ethereum, but because you have to have it to
Fees.
interact with a smart
more
contract. Yeah, fees.
Yeah.
So it's like
It doesn't mean
you're held up by gunpoint. It's like open up a wallet with Ethereum in it. I've been there, you know.
Yeah, and that's fundamental value. I don't know how it's valued. It's you know, fundamental value is good. It's just not going to fly as high as speculative value.
Absolutely, yeah. And considering the fact that there are literally thousands of coins that run on the Ethereum chain, therefore you need to have wallets with Ethereum in it for fees, for smart contracts, for doing anything. And we're talking about an ecosystem with, I don't remember how many thousands, but a lot, when Bitcoin doesn't have any of that. So it would be fairly easy for Ethereum, like other coins, to overtake it in number of wallet held.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
It's
make
it's a
wallets
byproduct.
just to buy memes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
minting NFTs, you know, it was not even possible if you had no Ethereum.
Octo, I lost your voice. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Did
Octo break up for you guys as well, or was it just me?
It was you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
And you're blurry.
I'm blurry as well.
Yeah, like I took tweets. That's how you look.
A little bit, yeah.
Let me take a look at the stream here.
I think
blurry.
that
It's more like 480p or like low res.
For
I
me,
I think
it's better
the
now.
market
I'm
cap,
I'm
the market
streaming
cap
and
of,
it's fine.
Ethereum, the market cap of Ethereum, I think, is more precarious than it is for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is starting to be perceived as a financial asset, and Ethereum is kind of conceived as a compute asset, and it's easier for new tech to displace compute than it is to displace financial instruments.
I think Ethereum is a compute asset, but
Changing though.
it's something that I would not use it for compute because of the fees too high.
Yeah.
Right.
You have
So
all these
Expensive software.
ecosystems. Yeah, you have all these ecosystems where you can do DeFi, where you have DeFi NFTs and whatever. But then to use them, you have to pay a lot. So it's nonsense to pay those fees just to use the features of the network.
yeah,
What's the
but that's
point, you know?
where other chains like Polygon can come in
Yeah.
and say we can do the same thing cheaper, faster, better. And the bigger the market cap is for Ethereum, the slower their innovation is going to become, because now they're protecting $500 billion of asset value, and they can't push the boundaries of tech as fast as a new coin that's got zero as a market cap.
I
They
think
can do anything they want, and maybe they hit one out of the park.
those layer one applications, they are fast. You pay less fees, but they still rely on Ethereum for the security, like Polygon and the Arbitrarium network. They do all this compute stuff and NFT and DeFi, but then they rely on Ethereum for
Security.
enhance the security.
Yeah, for the moment.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Well,
Look out 5 years. Is Polygon and Solana more likely to disrupt Bitcoin or Ethereum 5 years from now? And throw Cardano in there too.
I
That's
think
easy.
Solana may disrupt Ethereum, not Bitcoin.
There you
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
And
Solana
then add
Ethereum because
adding the
so-
next 100 projects that launch between now and 5 years from now. That's a lot of competition, a lot of sell pressure against Ethereum's market cap.
Solana is very interesting, but
Yeah.
it's a computer that has shut down several times over
And it's still in
the
beta.
last year.
It's
And
Look forward, not backwards.
I don't recall Ethereum to have some downtimes.
Remember when
Like-
America Online was #1? They're not around anymore.
Yeah. Remember when Ethereum had to fork into Classic?
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's
I
still
mean,
around.
You
Yeah,
just
they're
gotta
still
look
around.
forward.
Nobody knows why.
Look in the
Yeah.
future.
So, guys, I'm
Nice.
gonna go over one more topic now, and then after this, we're gonna go ahead and do the roll call for names. So, everyone who's with us, stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna preface this next topic with a question, because you'll understand when I read this. Which I didn't read the article, but my question is, and don't answer this yet, is unstaking a token. How does that impact the price, the market price, if it's done in droves, or if a whale does it? Are there any correlations? Because this article here says billionaire Mark Cuban offloads Polygon holdings to Coinbase. Price fell 5%. American billionaire and Bitcoin investor Mark Cuban has unstaked some Polygon tokens and deposited them to crypto exchange Coinbase on Tuesday. The move happens as Matic price jumps over 10% to hit 92 cents. Despite the U.S. Securities and Exchange Crypto alleged Matic, among other crypto, as unregistered securities. So how would that, or can it even impact the price if some whale were to unstake a token and move it to another exchange? There is no
It
correlation,
means-
right?
I think there may
Some
be
of it
some,
is a
because
psychological effect
Yeah.
for sure.
because you are moving those tokens from something that is locked, so it's not in the supply right now in the market.
Mhm.
And after unstaking it, they are free to be dumped in the market as supply. So if you have a lot of supply in the market, the price usually goes down.
So that
if the
adds
supply
to the
is more
market
than
price.
the demand.
So it's
Yeah.
not just the
But it's
order book.
already-
It's just fear.
But it's already in the circulating supply. Why should it affect it? It's not like it's coming out of nowhere.
It's in the circulating supply, but it's locked. You know
Yeah.
that it's
But
locked
it's
in
locked.
those staking.
Gives
Yeah,
It's just additional potential sell pressure that exists today that didn't exist yesterday. But
yeah,
Mark Cuban might be favoring Coinbase because he just took a 1% stake in it, or who knows what he's doing. It's
yeah.
I mean
Maybe-
the trigger word here is billionaire Mark Cuban. Billionaire is the trigger.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
the
that
news.
it doesn't. It's just no big deal.
That's the news. Yeah. So yeah,
Let's say how much Matic as well. Like what if it's like $20 worth of Polygon that was like unstaked? You know what I mean? They just draw conclusions or parallels to
yeah,
the price performance. But
Yeah.
but that gave Drew a bigger
Well,
question for me,
first
which
of
was
all, how do they know that he unstake it and move it to Coinbase? How?
well, they follow
He
his
must have announced
wallet.
his address.
Yeah,
You can
Maybe.
follow the
He
wallet
has.
address.
He has, because I believe those that Matic was gifted to him initially.
Oh, so
He gets gifted a
so
lot
his
of stuff.
address,
Really,
maybe then his address is public, right?
Yeah,
at least
for
one of
sure.
them.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least one of them. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Although, sorry, slightly related.
Sure.
Back to the staking. Now, as we know, even Ethereum has got more than half of its market cap in EVM in staked since it has moved to proof of stake. A lot of it is locked, and I heard there is a company has been working for quite a while, and they are about to announce it next year. They're working out the final little bugs, but they are introducing a way to do staking of Bitcoin on the actual Bitcoin blockchain, which is it would be a bit of a game changer in a way for Bitcoin, because it's
Maybe-
something that it's not possible yet. And it was very, very clever and interesting the way that they found that they can actually.
I think Price may know it using time logs and those
Yeah, it's-
things.
yeah.
It's exactly. It's very similar to Milix in a way, the way that they're working around this. So yeah, I think we should maybe look into it and maybe talk about it next time.
Yeah, that's
Because
a
the
good
tech
one.
behind it reminded me a lot of how the snapshots of the Milix network work.
Okay.
All right, guys, listen. We're gonna go ahead and do the call to action now. Go ahead and add your username, your Tangle.com username, to the YouTube chat, and we will compile your names now, real time, and I will add it to the wheel. So first,
I
come,
hope
first
that
serve,
everyone
first one.
in the chat on this stream joins Danny and I. We're going live right after this, and you guys can join us on camera. I know that's scary for most people, but this is going to be a real friendly way to do your first on-camera appearance. We're going to be so nice to you.
Pop your cherry.
So nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we got SJHW, who is getting added to the wheel. So how about we give 3 minutes max for people to add their names, and if they come after that, they lose the opportunity. Rob Many.
Octo, but that staking wouldn't be paid in Bitcoin, right?
It will. That's
will?
that's the whole point.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's the thing.
But how when it's deflationary? You could do that with other coins because they're inflationary.
They have a way of splitting the blockchain. The explanation was complicated but very interesting, and it would still keep it deflationary.
Because Ethereum's inflationary, right? There's an unlimited supply.
Ethereum, I believe,
Depends.
is limited as well. No.
I think
No,
it's an
it's-
open-ended question.
It's unlimited supply, but right now it's deflationary because of the burn. Every
1.5
transaction
minutes
is
left.
burning.
SJHW, come on to the next Tangle Talk live stream. Join us and we'll talk about Elon Musk. I got plenty to say about Elon Musk.
Yeah, me too. It's not delivering my Cybertruck as early as yours, Price.
Oh,
No.
Because- Because mine, it's supposed to have a right-hand drive wheel. You know what I mean?
that's a problem. That's a big
Oh,
problem.
look at
It's not mid of next year for us this
Wow.
side of the pond.
Maybe
Wow.
you have
That's
to consider to drive on the other side.
I'm totally cool with it. I don't know if the police around here will be comfortable with me doing that.
Well, I think sometimes I see people driving on the other side here in Portugal. So
They're probably British tourists, yeah.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I have a cousin. I remember that there was a time he went to visit and he was driving and he was on the other side of the road. It's tough to adapt. Yeah.
I did that too. The very beginning when I was here, the first thing I drove was a motorbike. And after a little while, I was like, why is everybody coming on the wrong
Yeah.
side? I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I am in England. Just a sec.
Yeah.
Everybody had a story like that. But
Yeah,
I did
that's
drive
good.
a standard left-hand drive car in England 3 years. Cars from Germany, so the steering wheel was on the right side. I grew up with the gears on the right-hand side of my car in Italy, like anywhere else. But yeah, now after 30 years, I'm quite used to the other side, and it just makes a difference because the only imports cars, they have to be specially made with their wheel on the right hand side. As they're from Japan or any other country that drives on the left, which surprisingly is quite a few countries actually.
Very few.
If you look it up, there's quite a lot
They're
of places
British
in the world
colonies.
where you drive like here.
Singapore is one of them.
Hong Kong?
Yes,
Hong Kong,
New
I believe.
Zealand.
Right? No?
Yeah,
Is Hong Kong one? I remember one of the
No, I don't think it is.
Asian countries
I
I went to.
think it is. Funny enough, Hong Kong, it's got the same double-decker buses and taxis that we have in London. It's one of the only other places in the world with the same taxis.
So there are
London.
6 people on the wheel. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So
Only
it's-
6.
Yeah, because
That's your road.
no H in
yeah.
my
Did you put
name. Oh,
Psych
my bad.
on the wheel?
My bad. Thank you, Psych. Right before I did that.
Hey,
I know. It's
and
just
that was listening to me.
still recovering, guys. So 5. I'm gonna start at 5 million. I had to refresh the wheel because it stopped allowing me to input names. It happened after I tried to copy and paste one in. And yeah, I'm a little delayed on the bets for Bitcoin, so we'll have to do one for next week. But I will publish one later this week.
No hate. Where's the hate?
All right, so we have 6 spots. Go ahead and run the wheel. And while we do this, guys, feel free to talk about the market summary, any terrible, silly news, whatever's on your mind,
Any
in or
changes?
outside of crypto.
Outside of crypto? No, I haven't
Rat
got
Milix has taken a leg up. It's a thin order book, but it's taken it's up 55% today.
I went
Yeah,
all in
this
on
week's
Milix
been-
for the fantasy day
Mine's
trader.
quite very-
One of
Yeah,
my
I went
picks-
all in on Milix this week. Not Rat Milix, Milix.
Same.
I think one of my picks, 2 maybe, they were doing not great today. Solana and AVAX. I think they were down, but I hope they
That's good.
recover. Not good. That's
Solana
not
broke a
good.
new
Yeah, no, you
record.
want him to be. You want him to be yearly low right when I lock the prices in.
I know, and I think
Yeah.
like Solana was doing really well, probably just before you lock the price. Yeah, so that doesn't
Yeah,
work out well for me.
That's the problem.
He broke a new record, $125 record for this year for
I
Solana.
locked about 3.5 hours ago.
Oh yeah, then I'm screwed.
Was Milix doing really well about 3.5 hours ago? I think it was.
I think it was.
Not compared to how it's doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wish it was
It was in
locked maybe
the
48
1.5
hours ago.
cents.
it did start coming up as early as yesterday late. So yeah, that could be an interesting one to see where it goes.
For sure.
If it was locked around 3 hours ago.
Samuel Cuckoo, congratulations. You were the grand prize winner of 10 million Milix. Congratulations. This was a nice stream, guys. I appreciate having you guys all on here, but we're going to wrap it up because we have to move on to other streams. Yes, we are polystreamic. And so make sure you guys tune right back in Friday when we are going to announce the winners of this week's Fantasy FiatLeak Day Trader. This will wrap up the season, and then we will see who the season holder or season winner, highest performing portfolio was. And
there can only be one.
I'm really curious to see if I at least made it to the top 3. I'd be happy if I make it to the top 3, but I have no idea. But yeah, it was a very special
draw prediction. Oh, I see your wallet. Interesting. I mean, your pick.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We will see. But once again, everyone, thank you for joining us. This was another great stream. Make sure you tune back in Friday. And until then, we will see you next time. Take care.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you Friday.